Hello everybody, thank you for joining me on part 10 of Monty's restoration. Well, we're back from our little jaunt and Sprat and Winkle run the other week. Incidentally, have you watched the video? Quite nice seeing the actual Militant being driven, and we did see some nice other trucks down there at the show as well. It's a shame the weather got involved and it rained a bit, it spoilt the day at the end. Never mind, it was a good run out, quite enjoyed it. Anyway, we're back on Monty now, but it's been raining round here lately, so we start off in the shed. That's quite okay. There's plenty to be done anyway. Make a start on this cross beam that we've had soaking in the electrolysis bucket for the last couple of weeks. Wasn't big enough to get it all in at once. We did one end and then we did the other end. But as you can see, it's been quite successful. All the paint's just sliding off, and all that rust has gone as well. All the scabbing's off the end. So we're set to get the thing cleaned up and dried out and go from there. There we have it. A couple of hours work later. That's cleaned up quite well, that. I'm rather pleased the way it's turned out. All the big scabs have cleaned off the end. That's cleaned up quite nicely. It should go back in a lot easier than it came out anyway. It's even cleaned up these markings on the top. I don't know if that's a casting mark. Who's Rob 21? Is he the guy that made it? Anyway, we've got a small problem with it. It's got these holes in the back. This right hand one's for an airline. That's where the tow hook fits. This is the left hand airline, and I've no idea what that's for. Somebody's obviously cut that out with a gas axe at some point for something, but I don't want it, so I'm going to get it welded up. It's about the size of that mastic tube, so we'll use that to draw around, cut out a piece of plate there to weld in. Doesn't have to be a perfect cut, because we're going to fill them gaps with weld, and more by luck than judgment, that wedged in quite nicely and held itself in place. So out with the welder. Couple of tack welds first. Just have a quick check, make sure it hasn't moved anywheres, and then get on with the big weld. Yeah, I don't think you need to watch all of it, so we'll cut that bit there. Anyway, that's the net result on the outside, and we've turned it over and welded on the inside as well. So grinder now, clean that up, get rid of all the ugly welding, and then get a coat of paint on. And that's the inside, looking very nice. The other side, I should have said, I did put a little smear of filler over it just to cover the grinding marks, and did the same on the inside. And that's it with a full coat of paint. All finished, ready to go back on the truck. I think that's come up rather well, that. Quite pleased with it. And that's for our hold. Yeah, can't see the join. Perfect. Right, it stopped raining, so we'll crack on with this back axle. So out with the tonker. I want to move it over onto that bit of concrete on the side there, make it easier to work on. It didn't go quite as planned, as you might expect. That thing's still wobbling about and flexing and what have you. Which is good really, because that's exactly what it's supposed to do. It does make it awkward when you're moving it around and when you're working with it. Well, there it goes again, all tilt. Now it won't stand up properly. At least I managed not to knock the wall down anyway. Still, there's a lot of mucking about, which I didn't bother filming, and eventually I got it set up on 4 little axle stands, and there it is. I can get round that now and start working on cleaning it up. As you can see, there's quite a bit to do. This may take some time. Never mind, we'll crack on. First job, I think, we'll get rid of that prop shaft out the middle, because that's just going to make life awkward. Looking at them bolts, I'm not quite sure they're going to want to come undone. They look like they've been in for a while. Anyway, with a bit of persuasion and a little protest, they all came out, and we lift it out and we take it back home to clean up in the shed, which is convenient because it started raining again. One UJ is quite nice, and the other one has a little bit stiff. That it doesn't feel bad, it's just a bit tight, and it's probably lack of use. But we'll get it cleaned up, get some fresh grease in it, see how it goes. And here we are, a couple of days work later. It's all clean, fresh grease nibbles in it, pump some fresh grease in, and it's all happy. That one's going to live again. So we'll get it a coat of paint. There we go. Done some of the S-cam rods as well there. They're all we're next in the queue for a paint. And that'll be ready to fit. Another piece done. Anyway, back on the axle itself, get all the toys out, wire brush, needle gun, drill. First job, get rid of all these broken bolts. I've already done 3 there, clean that up a bit. I've got the next 3 to do. They don't want to move, and there's 6 more on the other side. Anyway, much drilling and hammering, all 6 came out quite well, and the same on the other side, so all 12 are out. I've just got to buy some new bolts now for when I fit it back in. Anyway, crack on, start cleaning the thing up. There is a thought though, and I'm sure some of you have had it already. Without taking the thing to pieces completely, how on earth am I going to get in there to clean all that lot out properly? Well, what I'm hoping is I'll be able to take these 2 torque tubes off the top, and then that middle will lean right over and even swing round underneath, and that'll give me plenty of room. It's just a case of breaking these ball joints. Now the textbook handbook says a sharp blow with a hammer will release the taper, and I was quite surprised it actually did. I've done ball joints before and been there fighting for days trying to split the thing out, heating it up, hammering it and all the rest of it. This one came out quite nicely and I was rather shocked. So I thought I'd video the other side for you so you can join in the entertainment. I forgot to bring the right size socket with me, so never mind, a pair of Steel-Sons and a scaffold bar. Except that scaffold bar's the flagpole out of the other truck, which is a bit overkill, but it did the job. So get the nut off, swap for a better spanner. I know it's only an adjustable, but it's easier than a pair of Steel-Sons. Nut comes off quite easily. Yep. Quick check of the threads there, that looks all right. I'll give it a squirt of penetrating fluid, and it's more in hope than anything else. And then I need the sledgehammer to break the ball joint. And I've just paused the video here so I can explain. The sledgehammer I need is on the left hand side of your picture, highlighted by the arrow. You can just see the head sticking out. It stood up next to the axle. I don't quite know how I did it. It wasn't planned or scripted. Laurel and Hardy couldn't have done it better. I'm looking round for the sledgehammer. And it's a bit like a Christmas panto. And I'm sure you'll be shouting at the screen, it's behind you. But just watch me. Yeah. Oh, look, there it is. Anyway, sharp blow coming up, as recommended by the handbook. And there you go. I was most surprised. It took 3 sharp blows, not just one. But anyway, it's out, that's the main thing. And we can crack on. Well, the arm has leaned over a bit, so at least I can get to some of it to clean it. So I've got something to work with already. Maybe if I could tilt the axles outwards, like they do, it will go past, I think. At least I'm sure that's what it's going to do. Anyway, I've got to lean that axle out to get that torque arm out from underneath. So we make a start though. We clean what we can, get in where we can reach, and we'll crack on with that. I did try tilting that axle, and all I managed to do was get my chain stuck under the side. So I need to have a little rethink there. At least to get me bit of chain out anyway. Still, it's the end of the day for this bit, so we'll leave that, come back again later. Next day, sun's shining, we're all good, and we've worked out how to tilt the axle and swing that centre over to the other side. It still doesn't quite fit though. You can see it catching on the diff, but at least we can get into the back of that spring, and with a bit of juggling about, we will be able to get up the side of there, one on that side, and then we'll lean it over and do the other side as well. So at least without turning it right upside down, we can get to it. Now you can see I'm getting the spray gun out here, but don't even begin to think that I've finished or I'm anywhere near it. But if I don't get some paint on the bits I have cleaned, then they're going to be rusty again and I'll be back to square one. It's a bit awkward climbing in and out though. I'm going to have to practice that, otherwise I'll end up getting stuck to my wet paint. Never mind. We're only messing with the primer at the moment, so it doesn't matter if I get stuck in it a little bit, because it'll get a second and a third coat over it. Anyway, we're on. Spray gun out and off we go. Blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you can move that centre. It's a bit heavy, but with the flagpole stuck in the side, with a bit of care, you can walk it over one way, and you can paint the other side. Off we go again. And yes, that is heavy, but it does go. There we are. So we painted the bits we've cleaned. Just finished the gun out. Just keep going round and round. More the merrier, I should think. Better coat. I can't see anywhere I've actually missed. Well, I'm going to call that it for this session, I think. At least got a coat of paint on the bits we have cleaned. And I think that's come up quite nicely. It'll do for now. There's a bit of overspray on some of the bits we've yet to clean, but that doesn't matter. We'll get to them. Anyway, thanks for watching part 10. Hope you're not laughing too much at my senior moment earlier on, looking for the sledgehammer. These things happen, I suppose. Don't forget to tick the like and subscribe boxes, and we'll see you in part 11. Bye for now.